Hey guys, if this is your first time to my channel, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. My name's Emily and today I am going to be depotting all of these blushes you see right in front of you. Today I'm going to be attempting to depot these 4 blushes and 1 Becca highlighter. These have just been lying around in my collection, and let's be honest, I have run out of room for all of my makeup. I don't have Alex drawers or a fancy drawer or anything to really put my makeup in. I have a few makeup separators that I keep underneath the bathroom sink, which I know isn't the best thing in the world, but you know, you gotta work with what you got, so I have run out of room to put everything in, and I have so many little tiny compacts lying around, and I want to be able to compress it down into a Z palette of some sorts, so I have this mermaidy iridescent Z palette that I think is super cute, and I would love to make this into my own little personalized face palette. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right on into that. For depotting today, I'm obviously going to be using my depotting spatula. I need to pick up a new one of these pretty soon because the sharp tip is starting to get pretty dull because of how often I depot things, so I need to pick one of these up. But these are only $10 on Amazon, so if you are into depotting and you feel like you want one of these, they're not super expensive and they are extremely helpful. Next, I am going to be using my handy dandy tinfoil today just as a barrier between the heat source and the actual pans and products themselves, because if you just pop this plastic container right onto the heat, obviously it's going to melt onto your straightener, and then God forbid you forget that it's on your straightener and you put it on your hair. That's just a can of worms that no one wants to open, so let's go ahead and avoid that by using tinfoil today. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to need my straightener. This is just a straightener from Sephora that I've had in my collection, and I have it heated to 400 degrees, which is the standard setting when I turn it on. So let's go ahead and grab our straightener and our tinfoil, and I'm just going to press the tinfoil right onto the heat source. And here goes nothing with Becca Opal. And I'm going to leave this on here for about 60 seconds or so. And I don't know what it is, but I really don't feel like Opal looks that great on my skin tone. It looks kind of muddy, and I heard Kathleen Lights say that before, that Opal looks kind of muddy on her skin tone as well. So I don't really know what that's all about, but every time I try and wear Opal, I always end up just layering something on over it that's a little bit lighter and a little bit more golden. I don't know, I'm not really the biggest fan of champagne tones on my particular skin tone. On a bunch of other people, champagnes look freaking bomb, but on me and my skin tone and my weird undertones, I'm not really the biggest fan. I don't know, I've tried it a bunch of times and I used to use it all the time when I was younger, but I never really loved it like everyone else loves it. So maybe that's my own fault, I don't really know, but I just can't really get it to work for me, but I don't need a little tiny compact of it lying around, especially if I'm not using it. So I have left the heat source on there for about a minute and a half. I kind of got rambly there talking about how I don't really like Opal that much. And I have tried to depot this before, so that's why there's a little dent in the pan and the product's kind of flaking up a little bit. That's my fault from a while ago when I tried to depot it without a heat source. So let's go ahead and stick right into that area. And I'm just going to use the pointy side to try. Oh, here we go. There we have Becca Opal. So here we have the pan of Becca Opal, and here is the empty compact. Yay! We succeeded. Now we have 3 more, so let's go ahead and get into the next one. So next up we have NARS Goulet. Will someone please let me know how to pronounce that, because I am just the worst with pronunciation. So this one is like a mauve toned shimmer blush. It's like a pinky mauve kind of grapey shimmery blush. So I don't really reach for this very often. I used to a lot when I was younger, when I got it as the VIB Rouge gift, and I basically just used it because I didn't really have any other blushes in my collection at the time, so this was kind of my go-to because it was the only one I had. But once I discovered blushes that actually look good on my specific skin tone, I have never reached for this bad boy ever again, so let's go ahead and pop it into the Z palette and see if it gets a little bit of love. And I'm going to leave this on here for about 60 seconds, maybe even a little longer, because Opal seemed to come out pretty easy, and I left that on there for about, I'd say, a minute and a half. Okay, now let's go ahead and see if we can depot this without breaking it. Oh my gosh, here we go. Oh my gosh, it's coming. Come on, baby. And here we have the NARS Blush Depotted. I am so happy this came out in one piece because as you can see, there's a little dent on the side there from when I tried to depot it before I applied heat to it. I just went straight in with my spatula and completely cracked the product. So I'm so happy that this came out nicely. It's got a tiny little crack in it, but I just went ahead and smoothed that out. And this blush was definitely a success. I'm gonna need to invest in some air conditioning before the summer hits because this ring light makes me so freaking hot. I'm a sweaty mess over here. So here I have another Becca product. I have the Becca Luminous Flush Blush in the shade Camiella. This is a kind of pinky, I would say ballerina pink mauve shade. And it's definitely got a shimmer to it. It's a lot lighter than the NARS blush and a lot more vibrant. And it's got that kind of cool ballerina pink undertone to it. But I just really never reached for this guy. So as you can see, I've tried to depot this guy as well. Of course, I tried to do it without heat because I suck and never use heat when I'm trying to depot stuff, even though I should. So if you're gonna depot things at home, please use heat because as you can see, this will make a giant mess and it will totally ruin your product. So let's go ahead and pop this underneath the straightener and let's let this guy heat up. And I'm going to leave this guy on for about 1 minute and 30 seconds because I feel like that extra 30 seconds has just been giving me good luck here, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in here and see if we can pop up this pan without cracking it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I've reached the glue. I can definitely see it sticking to my spatula. Oh no, okay, we're good, We have it. Okay, so we have a little bit of product that came up out of the pan. Can I smooth it out? But it's okay, because I was able to smooth it out here, and I will go ahead and smooth it out a little bit more off camera. But I was actually able to get that out of the pan, so I'm very surprised right now, and might I say relieved, because this gives me anxiety having to depot these things, but I know it needs to be done. And I know I need the space. So let's go ahead and move on to the last blush. And the last blush that I'm going to be depotting today is the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in the shade Pearlescent Pink. This one is super new to my collection, and I got it off of recommendation from Tati Westbrook of Glam Life Guru. She's always talked about this blush for years and said how amazing it is, and I believe I only picked it up for $2.99 from Walgreens, and I'm sure that if I went to Walmart it would have been even cheaper. But I used it a couple days ago for the first time, and granted I had only worn it one time, but I was really impressed with it and I feel like it lasted all day on my cheeks. I was out and about all freaking day, and when I got home I still felt like I had a lot of blush on my cheeks. And it's a really beautiful kind of pinky, peachy coral color, but it's more on the pink side. It's kind of got a baby pink vibe going on with it, and I really like it so far, so I'm probably going to end up picking up more of these because the formula actually surprised me, which is awesome. I always love when drugstore formulas surprise you and are really good. So this has been on here for about 1.5 minutes, and I'm a little bit nervous to depot it because even though this is a Wet n Wild drugstore blush that's pretty inexpensive, I don't want to crack it because I really like this blush so far, and I'm going to be real upset if I crack it and have to go back to the store because I'm lazy and I don't want to leave the house. Sticking the sharp side in, let's go ahead and pry this baby out of here. Here we have it, a successful depot of the Wet n Wild pan. Yay, I'm so happy this one didn't break. We have a little bit of flaking on the side over here, but it's nothing to worry about. Here is my little customized face palette. We have Becca Opal, NARS Goulet, Becca Camiella, and Wet n Wild Pearlescent Pink. So I am so happy that these all survived. Becca Camiella definitely needs to be kind of pressed in a little bit, but I don't think that I'll need to use any rubbing alcohol on it. I think that I can just press it in with my finger, and if I need to use any rubbing alcohol, I'll just kind of tap some on top there and hopefully get the product to kind of mesh together. But I would say this was successful, and I'm probably going to end up putting some shadows down here, or maybe some more blushes, maybe some highlighters as well, and just make a little face palette out of this. And I really feel like I will reach for this more often than I would have if it was just the single compacts. So I think this is awesome. Now I have some room in my collection, and now I can fill it up with even more makeup. Okay, that is not the reason for this, but let's face it, that's probably what's going to happen. But that is going to be it for me, guys. I do hope that you consider subscribing. I have all sorts of makeup goodness happening here on this channel, so if you are not subscribed already and you would like to be, I would love to see you hit that subscribe button down below. I hope you are having an absolutely amazing day wherever you are, and thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye!